Hey everybody. So this is going to be a little create with me. I am working on a Where the Wild Things Are journal. And it's a storybook journal, so it's a bit of a challenge for me. So I haven't been doing any of the create with me's on the on camera for you guys. But I have a few things that I wanted to work on today that are not really, they're in the journal. I have a few ephemera pieces that I want to work on. How's that? I have some printed images. These images I'm just absolutely in love with, and I contacted the photographer. I think I saw that he was in California, maybe not, but anyways, I found him online, found his Instagram, and he's a photographer. His name is Mitchell Wu, and that's W-U. I'll maybe tag him in the section below here, just so you can check out his stuff. He does toy photography, and I came across these are Where the Wild Things Are toys, and he's done some photography with them, and I just absolutely love them. So I messaged him and I said, hey, I'm a weird artist in Arkansas, and I came across your stuff, and I wanted to know if I could print them out and use them in a journal that I'm working on, because I absolutely love them. And he's like, oh yeah, that's great. I'd love to see it when you're done. Da, da, da. So I have full permission to use them. And I will, of course, give him credit here when I talk about it. And when I put together my journal. So yeah, I thought I would, since it's been a day or two since I've seen you guys. I talk like you're right here with me, because I kind of feel like you are. But since it's been a day or two, I thought I would jump on here, and I was just so super excited about these images that I found today, and that I got permission to use them. And so I wanted to come on here, create a few journal cards, play around with this image that I printed off. It's the typical image that you see for Where the Wild Things Are. I want to make something out of that. And I have these, and then I printed off the definition of rumpus, because in the story, if you are familiar with it, Max is crowned king, and he says, let the wild rumpus begin. And so I wanted to do something with rumpus, and because it's such a cute word. So anyways, I'm gonna do something with that. So yeah, so here I am. You can create with me, and we'll make some stuff and make it happen. Of course, I'm obviously gonna have to sew, but yeah. I guess I could, but I can't wait is the better word. I can't wait to show you guys what I'm doing with this journal. I worked on it all weekend, and I'm absolutely in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. I think I have figured out that my niche, my true speaking heart when it comes to these journals, is to do the storybook journals, to cut up books and keep the stories intact and create from that story. They are a challenge for sure. I've done one before, and it was Miss Maple Seeds, and I encourage you to find that video, the flip through that I did of that one, and check out Miss Maple Seeds journal that I made. I had so much fun doing that. is the first one I did, aside from Golden Book journals. Golden Book journals, I keep the story intact, but I don't do anything with the story, if that makes sense. I just keep the pages intact and the story intact. But these storybook journals, I'm chopping them all up and trying to keep the story together, and they're just a challenge because a lot of the storybook journals, the storybooks have writing on both sides of the paper. So you have to kind of keep that in mind and work around that. So I have found, I did the one, I'm looking for my corner rounder. My desk is an absolute Wild Things mess. I have wild things everywhere. Anyways, I have found that by doing the Miss Maple Seeds Storybook Journal and by just the little bit I've been doing in this one, it's just, I love it. It's just, it speaks to me in such a way. It speaks to my creativity in a different way than just creating journals does. Now I'm looking for my other corner rounder because this one is being a little contrary. Where are you? Probably right in front of my face. Let's see here. Not under there. Excuse me again. I've still got that little tickle in my throat. And when I talk is when it irritates more. Okay. I am not seeing my other corner rounder. I mean, I have my big one, but my other little bitty one. So we're just gonna work with this, and it's not cutting very well, so frustrations. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to work with that, really. What is the dealio, Chilio? It has to be around here somewhere. Again, it's probably right in front of my face. I don't see where it would be any other, like it's not, it has to be on my desk somewhere because it's not like I go to other rooms of the house and around corners. Speak to me, corner rounder. Where are you? I can't hear you. Speak louder. This is just plain ridiculous. And frustrating. Ooh, that may be fun. I have another, it's a different kind of, it's called lace. It's got 3 different kinds of corner rounds to it. But it's not what I'm looking for. Gosh. I guess I'll just keep using this one. Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating. I guess, oh. It's really gonna bother me. Well, we'll use it and then we'll trim it, which defeats the purpose, but whatever. Don't make it a thing, Shell. Just go with it. Okay. Let's move. These are what we're working with. Move this over there. Let's so I can get to my glue page, my glue book. Two things that I've been working with this journal that I will tell you have been pretty interesting tools to work with. You may have seen, I may have mentioned it, I think, in another video about the like the distress inks and distress oxides and things like that, and a cheaper version per se, because most everybody uses the Tim Holtz. And I don't have a gazillion colors of Tim Holtz because I don't have that kind of money. But one of the things that I have been using in this journal, and I'm learning to like it, is shoe polish. It's brown shoe polish. I'm using it with a dauber. I've been using it to grunge up this journal, and I'm kind of liking it. So I am going to do more of that. So it's a cheap alternative. These are a couple dollars at Walmart versus however much the Tim Holtz brands and likes are of the other distress inks and things like that that we use to grunge up or burnish or whatever you want to call it in our journals. I've been using the shoe polish. When I first opened it, it stunk to high heaven, and I was afraid that it was going to make my journals stink, make my papers stink. But it's not so bad. It's not so bad. And you can't smell it. Like if I go sniffing on my pages, you can't smell it. Now, I will say this. It's probably not, whatever it is, the acid-free or whatever that's going to make your memories last forever kind of thing. It's none of that, I'm sure, because it's shoe polish. But we are working with it for now. It works for now. So that's one little hack that I've been using. I saw it somewhere posted on one of the YouTube channels that I watch. Somebody posted about using that as an alternative. And so I got some and I tried it and I like it. And I've been using it, like I said, throughout this journal. And it's worked really well because it's brown and it grunges really good. And I'll show you because I'll grunge up these cards here in a minute. Gosh, these are so cute. These images are so cute. I just love them. Such a creative person, and I highly encourage you to check out his stuff. He has all sorts of toys that he's worked with. Toy Story figurines, Star Wars figurines. I just, like I said, I saw these and I was like, OMG. These are going somewhere in my book somewhere because I love them. And he was so nice to say, yes, I could use them. And again, I'll link him in below so you know who I'm talking about. You can find him and check out his stuff. I'll put his website. He's got a really cool website with all of his stuff on it. Anyways, so the back to what I was saying, the shoe polish is one hack that I've been using with this journal, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really working well for me. It's giving me the look I want, which is a dirty, grungy, Wild Things look. And the other one, oh no, the other one I've heard about is a glue spreader. I used to always spread my glue on my paper, like my glue, my liquid glue, with a paintbrush. I ruined a gazillion paintbrushes because I don't, by nature and by the most that I've done, I'm a collage artist. So I'm all the time gluing something, all the time spreading the glue. And I've ruined a gazillion different paintbrushes. But they make these little silicone paint spreader, glue spreaders. I've seen them. I don't know. I haven't really priced them because I'm like, I'll just run a paintbrush. You know, some tools are not worth the money you pay for them because there's other cheaper means to make that happen. You can always use your finger tool to spread glue. So why go and buy a tool specifically for that? When you have 10 of them. Most people have 10 of them. Anyways, glue spreader. So somebody mentioned that a cheap alternative to buying the fancy one that's made specifically for glue spreading and targets us junk journalers who feel like we need every tool, because I get it, we do, to make our life easier and better and cooler, make our art more fun or whatever. I found this. This is a silicone, and it was from the dollar store, and it's in the makeup section. I don't know what it is, but I assume, I don't wear makeup, so I assume it's some sort of contouring or some sort of smooth lines. I don't know. I didn't really, I think the package on it at the dollar store said makeup applicator. But it's got two flexible ends, and you know, it was $1. It's cheaply made. Like if I bend it too much, you can see the plastic that's going to come through. Eventually it'll wear out, but for $1, it works perfect. It's silicone, so the glue just peels right off. You don't ruin it, and there you go. So that's another hacker tip. I found this again at the dollar store for $1.25 or whatever they are now. And it works great to spread the glue. So, I might use it. I might use it tonight. I don't know why I didn't use it on these, but we didn't. So, anyways, so those are two little tips or hacks or whatever you want to call them that have been coming in handy for me with this journal. I am loosey-goosey cutting. I don't normally do that. But I'm just super excited about these images. And so we're just making them happen. Making them happen. And, you know, I'm happy to be back with you guys. You know, it's so weird to, not saying that I don't like to do this, but it's so weird to create by yourself. I mean, I live by myself, so I function by myself quite frequently with no issues. And I create by myself quite often. But to create, I'm not even going to say on camera, because I don't feel like I'm creating on camera. I feel like I'm just creating with you guys, and I'm doing my little craft thing, and we're talking and chattering, and yeah, hopefully you're doing some sort of creating as well. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, I think, which is why I keep doing it. One of these days I'll do some tutorials and show you something that's actually useful. But until then, you just get to watch me fight with my corner rounder. Oh, this is making me irritated. So yeah, until then you get to watch me piddle around and do whatever. Like I said, I can't wait to show you guys this journal that I'm working on. This Wild Things journal. It's so cute, and I'm having so much fun with it. and I'm so far into it now. It's got 3 signatures, and I'm done, I think, mostly with the first signature. I'm working on the second signature right now. And so it's kind of hard for me to jump in and I guess I could just jump in and start showing you what I'm doing and all that, but I kind of feel like I want to save it for a surprise because it's just, I love it so much. Anyways, so we have these 4 journal cards, and they're so cute. Goodness, they're cute. I'll sew these, and then we have, let's see here. We have this, and my thought process with this is to kind of do like a trifold journal card, little, I don't want to say notebook, but almost like a fold-out journal card maybe. That's kind of my thought process with this. I am going to back it. It's on just regular copy paper. So, I'm going to back it. And round its corners. I like to be consistent, but I may round it with these just so they'll stop giving me a headache. Let's see here. What kind of paper do we want to use with this? No. I can use just, that would be so cute though. But no, I don't need to cut it down. I guess I can just use that fell to the floor. Maybe I'll just use this that matches all the other. Yep, that would make the most sense. That would make the most sense. So do you want me to show you this thing? We can do that. We are going to cut down a piece of the glue page so we don't get glue on our mat because we're being good. And I don't know if you'll be able to see really how well this goes on. Let's see here. Maybe that'll help kind of give you some contrast. But it works pretty well. It glues pretty smooth, and you can go all the way up to the edges. This paper is of course going to curl because it's regular copy paper. And I didn't get enough glue on it. But it works pretty good. It builds up a little bit on the brush, even though it's really not a brush. But you can just scrape it off. It works really good to get right up to the edges. It gets you a smooth layer so you don't really have a lot of the wrinkles and the bumps because, you know, I'm smoothing it out on the paper. And you can kind of maneuver it, like if there's a bunch up here, you can kind of almost scrape it and move it. See how I scraped it? Move it down here, so this one. So yeah, I'm kind of liking it. And I just toss it over there and it dries. And if it dries on the little pink brush, then I just scrape it off, pick it off once it dries. One thing I need to get me, I see so many people use little credit cards or whatever to help smooth out stuff you glue down. I use my bone folder and I think that works all fine and dandy, except for it gets glue on my bone folder. That squeezes, if it squeezes out. So, don't know that that's the greatest thing. Catch these little edges that want to always curl up. Of course, I'll stitch around this as well, but, oh, that was kind of gross. The glue went right up my fingernail. Anyways, I'm gonna stitch around this as well, but you get the point that this works pretty good. So, and it's obviously cheaper to do that at the dollar store than wherever else you're finding them. I've never seen one, quote unquote, out in the wild, but I kept seeing them in several different videos that I watched. People were using them and I was like, oh, that's a neat little tool. That's a handy little tool. And then I saw somebody say, this is just a makeup brush that I got at the dollar store. And I was like, oh, we got to check that out. I can swing $1. I can swing $1 for a tool. Definitely can do that. Oh, I was going to grunge up these cards. Gotta do that. And I've learned with working on this journal, I grunge up my cards and stuff before I sew, because after I sew, I end up grunging up the thread. Because, you know, that thread, that shoe polish just goes right to that thread like it's nobody's business. So then I end up with brown thread, which that's not really the color of thread I'm using. So I have had to make conscious efforts to grunge before sewing. So let's see how wide you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2. So 9 and 2, so that's 3 each. So let's see here. I'm trying to kind of make this even with my fold. And now that I think about it, that's not going to work because one side is going to be longer than the other. Or, yeah. Oh well, we're just going to go with it like this. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to trim this down just a little bit. And this brown paper is almost like a construction paper, so it's kind of thin. And of course my image paper is thin. So I can feel the cold glue on it. It feels very damp. Where the wild things are, they're so cute. And oh my goodness, it's so cute. I'm in love with this. So in love with it. What is the deal and why do you keep folding up? Let's just trim you off really good. Good trim there. That's cute. Cute little card. And of course I'm gonna sew it. Did you do it again? What the heck? Okay, I'm gonna sew that. Now, the next one I wanna do is this rumpus definition. Just, goodness, I think that's so cute. I'm going to tear this. Because a lot of the other images, I've been tearing a lot in this book. Because, you know, that's what the Wild Things do. They just tear things wild, willy-nilly crazy. So, I guess we'll tear that there. Okay. So, rumpus. Let the wild rumpus begin. He can go on. That'll be too thin. I'm just thinking here. I'm just thinking. Still think this is too thin to work with. So I either need to, maybe I'll just do it on that. A noisy or violent disturbance, commotion, or uproar. Too cute. Too cute. I have the hiccups. I'm not even, but since I willy-nilly cut, then that's just what it is. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these images here. I don't know. So I'm gonna set those aside and maybe we won't work on those tonight. But we did these few journal cards and I got to talk to you about, I've got to learn how to take care of this stuff because it's, I don't know if you can see, but it's a paste. And when you first open it, it stinks, but it's like breaking apart here. But again, we don't need a lot. See where the glue's resisting. Oh well. Again, it's been kind of cool because I'm kind of going with this grungy, dirty look, so it's worked. But you can see how it grunges me up for sure. Probably won't be able to see it very much on this. I won't do it a lot on this because we're already brown, but just kind of touch my edges a little bit. Again, all the ephemera that I've been doing in this book so far has kind of had this grunge to it. Kind of going with the theme of wild things in the woods and grungying it up. I'm mainly just doing the edges on this guy because, again, I don't want to mess much with that image because I love it. Get a little crazier on the backside with it, but see, it gives it just kind of like a dirty, grungy look, and I think that works out great. This, of course, is the brown. So next time I'm at Walmart, I'm going to pick up the black. Although I do think the brown is going to be my... The brown obviously looks more like dirt and vintage grunge, you know. I don't know enough about shoe polish to know. I assume there's just brown and black. There may be other colors, I don't know. Certainly worth checking into for the price. Yep, I think that's cute. Now I'll go through and I'll sew on these. And they'll be done, and then I'll have to find a home for them in the book. I'm pretty pleased with this hack. I don't, like I said, I just have one or two of the Tim Holtz things, so I don't know how long they last. I'd be curious to know how long they last compared to this big thing of paste, because again, I've been using quite a bit of this, and I still feel like there's quite a bit in here because I'm just barely touching it, you know. And maybe that's how the Tim Holtz things are as well. I am going to do a little reading to see, you know, how do you care for this? If it starts to dry out, is it just dried out? Or do you put some water or what? So, yeah. Highly recommend. Again, it's probably not acid-free and all that blah, blah, blah to last forever or whatever it is that, you know, some of those, some people are they care about that. I don't really know that I do. You know, that it is what it is. So, that's what we have. We have a Rumpus card. You know, I could add a little floof to it. Maybe I won't, though, because I don't know where I'm going to go. Although I really would like to cover up that. I'll use a little piece of what I've already used. I have this velveteen type blue. And it's got an edge that's, you know, with a sewn edge or whatever at the end of the fabric. That's got this ruffle that's seems to be excuse me, pretty stable. And I've used the other end, plus I'm working on using little snippets of this. So I'll I'll add that there just to kind of go along with the other pieces throughout the book. I'll sew that on. So anyways, we have a rumpus. And, oh, maybe I'll throw that in there too. Yeah, cute. Okay. And then we have this little trifold card. Who needs to dry because he's cold and wet. And then we have these images. Again, they're printed out images of some photographs that Mitchell Wu is the photographer. I just think they're so cute. So yeah, there you go. That's what we did. Let me see where my time is. Okay, I got a few more minutes. So I'll set these aside to plan to sew those, and I will go through briefly the first signature of this book. You can kind of see what I'm doing. Gosh, I feel like I'm spoiling the surprise, but anyways. So, I don't know if you're familiar with Where the Wild Things Are. It's a story, and pictures are by Maurice Sendak. It's a pretty popular children's story. Let me see. Here's the cover of it. This cover's in pretty warped, bad shape. It's been waterlogged, so I didn't have a problem cutting it up. I used 2 of these. One was a soft cover, and it had a big stain on it. So, Where the Wild Things Are, story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. If you're familiar with the story, then you kind of know what's going on. But if not, I highly encourage you to check it out because it's a cute story. Anyways, so you can see I've started out the story, keeping it intact. You can see my grunginess around the edges. He starts, and of course Max is, I don't have a picture of Max. Max is wearing a little wolf suit. So we have a greeting card that's a wolf. So that's what I started with. Flips out for journal space. So the story's intact. He wore wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. The story continues on this little journal card. His forest grew in his room. Images from the book. A little postcard that I added a picture of Max to. And his forest grew and grew and grew. These are another little greeting cards that added journal space. Grew, so ceilings hung with vines. So we have the vines here. There's another vine journal card. This is a flip out of a big journal card that I made from an image from the book. There's a leaf from the forest that's growing. Little journal cards from the images from the book. A little flip open journal card here. It tucks in there. I made this at Mass McMarch. It's a little forest scene, and it says Imagine. It's not a shaker card, it's a CD window card, but yeah, so there you go. It worked, fit there. More of the story. Big journal card. A nod to the author and the artist, who is the same person. I think so far this is my favorite bit. So he gets on a boat and he goes to where the wild things are. That's the whole point of the story. And this is a little monster in the water who's breathing his breath at Max. And see, Max is all scared. So I added some sequins for his breath. And I just think that's the cutest thing ever. So yeah. That's where I'm at with the first signature, and again, I'm loving it. I'm in the middle of the second signature, and so yeah, I think I'm done with this, but I may these new pieces that I've got, they may end up somewhere in it. Who knows? But anyways, there's a sneak peek of what I'm working on, and the next time you see it, it'll be a flip through. I'm not going to do any create with me's on it because I spend so much time on it. I may spend hours on one little page, so trying to figure it out and all that. So I don't want to bore you with that. But anyways, thanks for joining me as this little create with me. I'm gonna sew these and then I'm gonna call it a night. And I will see you guys back soon enough. Thanks for joining me, and take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.